Shabbat Shalom, L'chaim, L'chaim. The sixth Torah portion is Shmini. It opens up with the 8th and final day of the inauguration of the temple. If you recall in Parsha Tzav last week, Moshe Rabbeinu began the process of inaugurating the Mishkan. And it involved building and taking down the temple, or the Mishkan, 7 days. And he was doing every service, all the offerings, just so that Aaron HaKohen's children could see how to do it. And this week, at the beginning of the portion, in Shmini, Aaron HaKohen and his children finally take the lead, and they offer up the offerings, and for the first time, a fire descends from heaven and consumes the offering in this miraculous display. And in the middle of the portion, we have the story of Nadav and Avihu, who offered up a foreign incense, and their souls were consumed, basically. They were taken up. And Moshe says to Aaron, now I see that they were even holier than we are. And finally, the Torah portion concludes with the laws of kashrus, which animals are kosher, which are not, and which we can eat and which we cannot. And I was struggling this week just to connect to one idea that I read from the Degel Machne Ephraim, the grandson of the Baal Shem Tov. He said that Aaron HaKohen felt embarrassed. Rashi actually cites this, that Aaron HaKohen felt embarrassed to become the high priest. After building the Egel HaZahav, the golden calf, for the Jewish nation and leading them that way, now he's going to turn around and become the high priest. He didn't feel deserving of the position. And the Degel Machne Ephraim said that, or quotes that, it's precisely because of this embarrassment that he felt that he was chosen to be the high priest. In fact, his boshet, his embarrassment, was turned to Shabbat. It's the same letters, just rearranged. His boshet, his embarrassment, was turned to Shabbat. And I was struggling all week to try and understand, what does this mean? Because I connected to it, I just didn't know how. And it reminded me of one time, it was a Shabbos, and I went to shul on Friday night, and I'd forgotten my shoes and my hat, and so I showed up wearing all white except for my work boots, which are covered in, baked goods, egg yolk and whatnot. And I felt embarrassed because, this is Kavod Shabbos. It's supposed to be a holy time separate from the week, and here I am in my work boots. And even worse than that was they asked me to lead. So I went up to lead, but I just didn't feel very in the spirit of Shabbos. And it turned out to be one of my most powerful tefillot. I felt very connected and felt really in a strong, close relationship with Hashem in that moment. And it just felt very good. And I think that this is what the Degel Machne Ephraim was trying to talk about, but I didn't understand what the practical takeaway was. Surely, at times where we're embarrassed in life, we feel very low. And it can even bring us to a closer place of connection, because we have nothing to lose. And my brother reminded me of something that's written in the Tanya. There are 2 levels of fear of God. The lower level fear is mamash, just I'm afraid, I did something wrong and now Hashem's going to punish me. The higher level fear is actually being embarrassed, is being ashamed, because this is my God, this is my Father, someone I really care about, and I don't want to embarrass him by doing something wrong. So when I do something wrong, I'm ashamed of myself, and I want to be better. And I think this is the lesson that it's actually mentioning in the Torah portion. And that's why it cites Nadav and Avihu as well, because all they wanted was a closer connection. And they went about it the wrong way, but Moshe and Aaron see that they actually had a stronger connection than even they did. And this is what I think we must all take out of this week's Torah portion, at least, is that at times in life we're going to make mistakes, and at times in life we're going to be embarrassed, but it's precisely for that reason that Hashem has chosen us to be his people. Because we try and we try to build a closer connection to him. And when we fail, we just realize how close our connection really is because of how much we care. And Hashem recognizes it, and that's how he brings us closer. And that's why he brings us closer in those moments. So, B'ezrat Hashem, I hope that we can all merit to really have clarity in this way, to see how close we are to Hashem in our moments of, in not our best moments, and to see and feel how close we are and try to only get closer and closer to Hashem, to build this relationship and to feel that it's really developing with clarity. Shabbat Shalom.